Hi and welcome to the overview of Block 6. In this lecture I'll just talk you through the different aspects of the learning activities for Block 6. So let's have a look at the aims of Block 6. The aim of this block, the first block in Leadership for Innovative Practice, is to explore how to evaluate the leadership behaviours required to inspire people to work creatively and collaboratively for the benefit of dementia practice. So we'll just come down to your learning outcomes here. Because this is your first block in this section of the module, we'll just take a little bit of time to become familiar with the layout of this section and to familiarise you with the different activities you need to undertake as you go through this block, and the subsequent blocks will follow a similar format. There are some different tools on the left hand side of the toolbar that I'll talk you through. So over here, there are some different tools, and we'll be using these as we go through blocks 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. There will be an online seminar that you can attend. We hope you do attend it, and this will give you the opportunity to introduce yourself to the group and meet your fellow students. There's also the opportunity to do your introductions on the discussion board to supplement your contribution to the online seminar. There are different learning activities in Block 6. There's a self-assessment of your leadership style. There's a link there for one assessment tool, although you can use any assessment tool for this. And we'll also just be highlighting the fact that you need to have Block 6 activities completed in terms of contributing to the online discussion board and some of the other learning activities, such as keeping an online journal. So let's just navigate down here. So hopefully you've already explored the introduction to the section, where there was a welcome to the module online lecture and also a guide to action learning. If you haven't looked at these lectures yet, I recommend that you just take one step back in the Blackboard site to the introduction to section 2 and watch those lectures. So your first activity in preparation for the online seminar for Block 6 is to watch Grace's case study. And if you click on this link, this will take you to Grace's case study.
Hello and welcome to your case study for Part 2 of Module 3, Leadership and Innovation.
So you'll meet Grace, who's a visiting lecturer for this module, throughout section 2. And Grace had an interesting and innovative project to lead across the north of England. Grace was working for the Alzheimer's Society, and in her lecture and in the subsequent transcript of this lecture, which you'll find in the resources section at the bottom of Block 6, Grace explores how she led this innovative project. And what we'd like you to do in this section of the module is to look at an aspect of your work in the way that Grace has examined and critically evaluated her leadership as she developed this innovative project. So there is a worksheet for you to complete after watching Grace's case study, and this will just give you some additional background information on the project that Grace will be exploring in her subsequent guest lectures with us. So that's some of the pre-learning for you to undertake before you attend the online seminar, and your tutor will have emailed you the dates of your online seminar. So the online seminar is held in Collaborate, the Collaborate classroom, which is accessed by the left-hand toolbar. So if we go back up here, your Collaborate classroom, you link on, and it's really worthwhile accessing this a couple of days before your first time of using it, and to just check you have all the correct software downloaded, and also just always check in a little bit earlier before the session starts so that you're ready to go. So if we click on Join the Room, it will start to download the Blackboard Collaborate launcher. This does take a little bit of time, so it's worth setting it up in advance. We do recommend that you use a headset of earphones and microphones to ensure good quality communication throughout the session. So as you click on Join the Room, you will be given this prompt and you open the launcher. It then takes a little bit of time to verify, so just to be patient, and then you run the Blackboard launcher. This is the image that you'll see as the Blackboard launcher downloads. And this is what the Blackboard Collaborate room looks like. So you'll see your name appear here. You use the talk button when you want to be the person accessing the microphone, and then you can access the video. So this is the information for your online seminar. The issues that we'll be exploring in this online seminar is that we need you to introduce yourself to the group. So it might be a little bit nerve-wracking the first time. I know when I first used an online platform, an online classroom, I did feel self-conscious about speaking, but as with most things, the more you practice, the less anxious you'll feel and the more natural it will feel to communicate using the online platform. And we'll look at how we will contribute to the learning activities, because this is action learning, so it's very much about sharing our learning with each other as we go through the next few weeks. And then coming down here, the focus of the online seminar, as well as getting to know each other and agree how we're going to work, is that we'll have a discussion on Gracie's case study and how innovative you think this is. So it's linking with section 1 of the module if you've engaged in this, and also to think about your project for starting to develop your leadership over the next few weeks. We have a resource for you to engage with either before or after the online seminar. You may fit this in with your own learning time, and the tool I've included here is the NHS, the National Health Service in the UK, the leadership assessment tool that's available for the National Health Service. So there are a few questions on this leadership assessment tool that talks about NHS values, and what you need to do there is just substitute the idea, the phrase, the values of your organisation. There is a paid version of this self-assessment where it becomes a 360-degree assessment of your performance as a leader by your colleagues, and we're not asking you to undertake that full assessment, which you have to pay for. What we're asking you to do is engage in the free version of this tool. And then we'll be looking at sharing your learning from the leadership assessment tool on the online discussion board, and also you can reflect on this in your learning journal. So your learning journal, your reflective journal for leadership is here, and you had a creative and innovation reflective journal, and there was also the team exercises in section 1, but the journal that we're asking you to complete is the leadership reflective journal. Now this is private. As you log on, it's your reflective journal. The way these journals are set up, the tutors do have access, but it isn't an access that we'll be using. This is your reflective journal to start logging your own reflections on the learning theory, the evaluation tools, your own case study. And then you have the discussion board for section 2. So there's one for section 1, and here's your discussion board for section 2. So at the end of the schedule of learning activities, you'll find the NHS Leadership Assessment tool. Now you can use this tool, or you can use any leadership assessment tool that's used in your workplace, or a leadership assessment tool that you've been familiar with in the past. and you just register, and you can then undertake your assessment without having to go further into the paid option. So I undertook this assessment as part of my leadership development and found it really, really insightful. And further down you'll find the reading list, which is some websites that relate to Grace's case study. There's a worksheet for you to complete after you've engaged with Grace's case study, and there's a transcript of Grace's lecture here for you. In addition to the online seminar, we have the online discussion board, and this is a requirement for you to engage and to share your thoughts, your learning, and to contribute to the learning of your fellow students. What we'll be asking you to contribute for this first section, for Block 6, is to share a summary of your personal leadership strengths and areas for development after you've undertaken the leadership self-assessment, whether that's the NHS version or another of your choosing. But when you do contribute to the discussion board, please do make it clear which leadership assessment tool you've used, and you may want to reflect on how useful you found that tool. We'd also like you to share with the group, with your fellow students, a summary of the innovative dementia practice leadership opportunity that you've identified as being the focus for your development throughout this section, section 2 of the module. And what you also need to do is read the posts made by your fellow students and do offer constructive comments, suggestions, reading that you feel may be useful to your fellow students. And then do be aware that there'll be pre-learning activities for you to undertake before Block 7. So do engage with the next block and be prepared to spend some time developing your learning for Block 7.